Hermione, could you tell me what your plans are for the long weekend?
Oh, hi, Debbie. I hope you're having a nice day. Did you hear from Jason about our plans for this weekend? He was going to mention it to you at some point. I know the Sunday is Jason's dad's birthday, so I suggested we come over that day. We can bring a present and some things for a barbecue if it's convenient.
Oh, were you intending to come over as well?
Definitely. I think Jason told Marcus that on the phone. Didn't you get the message? If you already have plans, we could come another day.
I see. You've already told my husband that you'll be coming over. I suppose there's nothing we can do about it now then. I was going to say that there's no need for you both to come. I'd be perfectly happy for you to stay at home or go and do something else you'd like to do.
I wouldn't want to miss the celebrations, though. It's a big birthday for your husband, isn't it? Jason said he'll be 60. That's a big deal. I hope you don't think I'd rather be out shopping or something.
No, that's not what I mean. If you weren't so dense, you'd understand that I mean I'd rather celebrate such an important occasion with my family.
Don't you think I count as family? Jason and I have been married for over 2 years now.
You really are very absent-minded and sloppy. A daughter-in-law should try to think of her husband's family above all other considerations. How can you be so thoughtless towards me? Now that you've told my husband you'll come, I can't exactly tell you to stay away, because then I'll look like the villain. But from now on, I'd like you to think more carefully about where you stand before you decide to invite yourself to any family occasions.
Okay. I'll try not to make the same mistake in the future.
Please do so. Hey, babe. I just finished work. I'm just about to set off home. Do you want me to stop at the store or anything?
Hey, Jason. How was your day? I hope you're not too tired. No, we don't need anything. Thanks.
It was okay. Nothing special. I'm going to stop off quickly in town anyway to see if that new deli has the scotch my dad likes. I was thinking of getting him a bottle for his birthday.
Oh, that's a good idea. I'm sure he'll appreciate it. Okay, let me know when you're done and I'll start getting your dinner ready.
Are you feeling okay, Bri?
What do you mean?
I don't know. You just seem kind of down. You usually send way more exclamation marks and you haven't sent any selfies or posted to your story at all today. You usually have a cute kitten video to share at least. If you don't post anything at all, I'm going to get worried about you.
Really? Am I that predictable?
Don't say predictable. Say reliable. It's part of my break routine to check out your socials and see what you got up to after work.
Sorry, I guess. I didn't have a great afternoon, so I was too bummed to post anything on my way home from work.
What happened in the afternoon to upset you? Don't tell me it was my mom. Did she say something weird again?
How did you guess that?
I just assumed that would be it. There's nothing that bothers you quite as much as my mom being mean. It's becoming a pretty regular thing. And it doesn't seem to matter how much my dad and I talk to her about it, she doesn't really listen to us. I swear she has absolutely no interest in understanding how much effort you put into the relationship with her. It's like she doesn't even recognize that you have feelings. Did she say something about the weekend? Is there something wrong with your plan? I guess she probably didn't want to clean up after a barbecue. I can tell her we'll just bring stuff for a potluck if that's the problem.
It's not about the barbecue.
You don't have to go if you don't want to. I'm not going to force you to hang out with her if it makes you uncomfortable.
But it's your dad's birthday and he's always so kind to me. I don't want to miss it just because of your mom. It wouldn't make me uncomfortable if she could just keep some of her opinions about me to herself.
Yeah, I get that. I'm sorry. When I get home, you can tell me everything she said, okay?
Yeah, okay. Thanks, honey.
I actually have something else I want to discuss with you when I get home. It's something my dad has been asking for my advice about.
Your dad is asking for advice? Are you sure it's something you can talk to me about?
Yeah, he asked me to get your opinion, actually.
Oh, sure. That's okay then. It sounds important.
Yeah, I'll tell you all about it when I get home. I won't be long.
Okay. See you soon.
You're a little real drama queen, aren't you, Bryony? To cause a huge fuss and storm out of the house just because you weren't allowed a glass of the expensive champagne. You're ridiculous. How old do you think you are? You can't act like a sulky teenager every time something doesn't go your way, you know. You're not even a member of this family, yet you expect to be treated like you deserve a share of whatever my son has. It's nonsensical. I wish you wouldn't keep ruining any family gathering you turn up at, invited or not.
I haven't stormed out like a sulky teenager, actually. But considering you won't let me have any of the food from the barbecue or potluck, including some that I cooked and brought myself, I went out to the grocery store to buy myself some lunch. I haven't had anything to eat since 7 a.m. I'm very hungry already.
You've gone where? I hope you're not at our local grocery store. I'd be ashamed of you turning up there to buy food. Some of my acquaintances work there, and they know we were planning Marcus's birthday party today. What will they think if my daughter-in-law is buying food for herself?
That's not really my problem, Debbie.
People will think I'm a cruel mother-in-law. Are you happy with that?
So, do you think most people consider starving your daughter-in-law at a family party to be unreasonable behavior? Or even cruel?
Oh, please. I'm sure you can miss one meal. You're not so weak that you can't stand to be hungry for a few hours, are you?
Can I ask one thing? Did you give me all those jobs to do so I would be out of the way when everyone was eating? Then you could make sure there wasn't enough food left for me?
That's a terrible accusation. How dare you?
It's pretty clear to me what you're trying to do.
What I'm doing is perfectly fair. Let me ask you one question in return. Who do you think is gate-crashing this party that I organized specifically so that I could spend time alone with my close family? That person is you, isn't it? The one who always insists on being involved and invited where she isn't wanted.
You've expressed these sentiments before, Debbie. I don't think I need to hear it again.
You and I are complete strangers. I have no obligation to you. You're only a daughter-in-law. I'm not going to spend money on someone who's nothing more than a stranger to me.
What you mean to say is, you don't want me to eat the food everyone has prepared for the party, or the meat you bought, because you would consider that a waste of food and money. Do I have that right?
That's exactly what I mean.
Oh, now I completely understand. You mean that in your opinion, a daughter-in-law doesn't count as a member of the family?
Obviously. You've got your own family, don't you? If you don't like my way of doing things, perhaps you should go back to your parents and leave me and my family alone. I honestly don't care what you do with yourself as long as you don't get in the way of my family. And don't try to muscle in where you don't belong. Like I said, you're basically a stranger to me. That's how you should expect to be treated.
Okay, I'm fine with that. Let's be strangers.
Excuse me. What do you mean by that?
Well, Debbie, I guess I should call you Mrs. Richards, shouldn't I? I think I'll do as you seem to want and head back to my parents' house. You clearly don't want me to be a part of your family.
Do you really mean that?
I brought my overnight bag with me and it's still in the car, so I don't think there's anything at your place that I need to go back for.
This is very sudden. You can't just decide these things without discussing it with me first.
You've made it clear this is exactly what you want, so I don't see the need to discuss anything with you. I'll arrange to have my things picked up from Jason's house as soon as possible.
Wait, have you spoken to Jason about this? I think you ought to give it some thought first.
Goodbye, Mrs. Richards. Jason, your mom said that thing about daughters-in-law just being strangers in their husband's family again.
Oh, she did? Have you left already? Understood. Sorry for making you put on a show like that.
It's no problem. This is all happening so that your mom can finally learn how to act towards other people, isn't it? I think this is something that's really important for the family. We all need to work together for it to be a success, so I don't mind doing my part. And this is going to make life so much better for both of us, isn't it? I think it'll be worth it.
Me too. I know it's a pain, but just hang in there for a little bit longer, okay? I'll see you soon.
It's okay, sweetie. I'll go ahead and get started on the preparations for the next stage.
Thanks. I hope it's not too much bother. Let me know if there's anything I can do to help. Safe travels. Love you.
Okay, good luck. Love you too. Hi, Mrs. Richards. I'm sorry, I can't talk now. I'm on a bus.
Text message will do just fine for what I have to say. You must come back here right now, Bryony.
I'm afraid I can't. I said I was on a bus, didn't I? The bus doesn't stop until it gets to my parents' city, which is still a couple of hours away.
That's fine. Just get another bus back here once you get there. It's very important that you obey me.
No, thank you.
Do you refuse to do what I say?
I see no reason to obey you when you're nothing but a stranger to me. You have no right to demand it like that.
Oh, forget about that for a second. We need you back here as soon as possible.
I really don't follow. How can you mean that? First you said I have to leave, and now you say I have to come back. It's extremely confusing, and you're making my life very difficult.
But Jason is so angry about all of this. You should come back and get him to calm down. Apparently, he's mad that I would say daughters-in-law are strangers and made you feel like you don't belong. And he's upset that you've left because of what I said.
Oh, I see. That's sad.
If you think so, why don't you come back here and sort it out? You don't want to make him angrier, do you?
I don't think I'm the one making him angry, actually. If he's angry with you, shouldn't you sort it out?
He's getting ready to leave. He promised to stay over with you, but he's putting his coat on now. If you just say you'll come back, I'm sure everything will be fine. Just tell us you'll come back here. Say it right now.
Can you stop ordering me around? It's not my responsibility to clean up your mess, Mrs. Richards. The reason he's angry isn't because I'm not there. We are perfectly capable of being apart for a few hours. I think it's because of you and what you've said. So you're the only one who can fix this. He's not angry at me, is he? You're the problem.
Excuse me! How dare you take that tone with me?
I got a nice message from him before saying safe travels, so I don't think he has a problem with me going home to my parents' house.
I don't understand.
You don't seem to understand a few things. One of them is that I don't take orders from a stranger like you. I listen to my husband and he listens to me. Can you please deal with this situation by yourself? You've caused it.
Bryony! Wait. I need your help. Bryony, this is beyond ridiculous now. I can't deal with it anymore. Why won't you help me?
Hello, Mrs. Richards. What is it this time? Why do you keep forgetting that we're basically strangers?
My husband has left me. There's a package on the kitchen table with divorce papers inside. He has signed them. And all of his things are gone.
Wow. That's unexpected.
Don't you know where he could have gone?
How could I? I don't talk to Marcus about those kinds of things.
But you talked to Jason. He might have told you what's going on.
Why don't you ask Jason?
He won't talk to me either. Neither of them is answering my calls or messages. Jason's phone must be turned off because it goes straight to voicemail.
Oh, then I can't help you. Since you and I are strangers, Jason and I are also strangers, so he and I haven't spoken since yesterday. There's no reason I could possibly know where your father is, don't you think?
What are you talking about? Since when are you and Jason strangers?
Since you said you don't consider me a part of your family, we have absolutely nothing to do with each other now. I'll be going now. I don't have time to waste talking to people who aren't part of my life at all.
Bryony, there's been a huge misunderstanding. You have to help me. Jason, honey, what's happening? Are you and Bryony going to get a divorce? Oh, yeah, I guess. That's the plan. Then you'll come home to live with me, won't you? No. Why would I? Your father has gone. He left and took all his stuff. There are divorce papers in the kitchen. I haven't touched them yet, but I can see he signed them. Oh, you're talking about you and Dad getting a divorce? Yeah, I heard about that.
You knew?
Of course I knew. He asked me about it and I gave him some advice.
Why didn't you tell him not to go through with it?
I don't see why I should have said that. He seemed really unhappy. Did you see the letter he left? You were telling Bryony you thought daughters-in-law were just strangers to their husbands' families, weren't you? So he assumed you meant that you considered his family strangers too. You're a daughter-in-law to them, after all. But I think if you're a stranger to your husband's family and your husband is a part of that family, that means you're a stranger to him as well, doesn't it? I'm taking his side over this. It just makes sense to me that if you're a stranger to him, you're a stranger to me too. Goodbye then.
Wait! Jason, you don't really mean it, do you? Jason! Bryony! This is getting completely out of control! What is happening to me? I finally got in touch with Jason, but he just told me that he was on his father's side and he told me he doesn't want to see me anymore. What do I do? Can't you talk to him for me? I'm sure I don't deserve to be treated like this. Mrs. Richards, I really don't know why you keep contacting me about this. It honestly has nothing to do with me now. You can't mean that. Didn't you ever care about Jason at all? Think what he must be going through to lose his wife and mother all at once like this. Regardless of my feelings, I'm not going to try and find out the whereabouts of a person who has become a stranger to me on behalf of another complete stranger. That would be an invasion of privacy and not something anyone with common sense would do. So I don't know where he is, and I'm not going to ask. But you have to. I can't find him by myself. Like I told you the other day, I don't have anything to say to you now that we have nothing to do with one another. Please leave me alone. Please, Bryony. I need your help. This is goodbye for the very last time, Mrs. Richards.
Hey, sweetie. I'm getting off the bus in about 15 minutes, I think. Are you coming to meet me?
Yeah. My dad and I are driving to pick you up at the bus station.
Awesome. Where do you want me to wait? At the south entrance?
Yeah, that should be fine. There's a car park there, so we'll park up and wait for you. I think we'll get there around the same time as your bus, so if you don't see us straight away, don't worry.
Okay, no problem. What's the plan after that? Have you had lunch already? I'm starving! I want to grab something to eat, but then let's go home and put the finishing touches to our vow renewal plans. I'm so excited for tomorrow.
Yeah, that's fine. We didn't have lunch either, so I was wondering if you wanted to go to the Mexican restaurant that you like by the bank?
Sounds great.
What time does your dad arrive tomorrow? My mom is doing some snacks for while we get ready, and she wants to know if she should have enough for him.
Oh, that would be great. I think he's planning on setting off early, so I expect he'll be really hungry by the time he gets to your parents' place. He was aiming to arrive about 10 a.m.
Okay, great. I'll let her know. Do you want to drive by your new office on the way home? My dad thought it might be useful for you to see where it is. Monday is your first day, so I guess it'll be your first time driving there. We don't want you getting lost and being late.
Oh, is that okay? I'd love that. I haven't actually seen the place yet.
Yeah, it's fine. I know your interview was on Zoom, but I wasn't sure if you'd been over to see the office last time you were here.
I didn't get round to it.
Hey, have you finished writing your vows for tomorrow yet?
Not yet. I'm mostly finished, but I was thinking of getting your mom to help me tonight.
She might be too busy. My dad might help you, though.
Thanks, I'll pass.
He says you don't know what you're missing. Did you get everything sorted with the old house?
Yeah, everything was fine. I just needed to sign a couple of forms and hand over our keys, basically. I can't wait to get home. See you in a few minutes, babe.
Yeah. See you in a minute. I should probably start by explaining exactly what happened with my marriage. I never actually got a divorce from Jason. We just said we would do it, and Jason flashed around some fake divorce papers when his mom was looking, so she thought it was real. He said she came over to our old house quite a lot to begin with, to try and convince him to forgive her and help her find his dad. But he just pretended to be all sad about the divorce. And eventually, she left him alone because he was still mad and kept telling her it was all her fault. Which it was. Her own divorce was real enough, though. I'm not sure if it's final yet, because she put up such a fuss. They could only agree on terms about a month ago. Jason told me that he thought his father had probably been putting up with a lot from his mother for much longer than we originally thought. He remembers her being a bit of a tyrant ever since he was young, but as a kid, he never realized how bad it must have been. I think when it was just the three of them, they just sort of lived through it and put up with her. But when she started being cruel to me as well, they finally realized she had to be stopped. That's when my father-in-law decided to get a divorce. After they split up and my father-in-law moved out of the house, I think they just communicated through their lawyers. They sold the house quite quickly and Jason's dad moved into a place in a different city. Jason's mom moved back to the town she grew up in, but I heard she didn't exactly get a warm welcome. I don't think she has any friends left there at all. Because I was staying with my parents while all of this went down, Jason had to travel up to visit me so often. After a few visits, he decided he really liked my parents' city. So we started looking for apartments here and we finally moved back in together last month. Jason is starting a new job here next week, and this weekend we're having a small ceremony to renew our vows. Maybe after the ceremony, I'll let him know that he's going to be a dad. I can't wait to see his face when he finds out. It's going to be amazing. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button and subscribe for more content.